Superlatives time. Shoot your shot, Myles Simmons.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go to the Ravens because this is a term we usually use for the NCAA tournament, but they were able to survive in advance because that's a tough Carolina Panthers team. They've been playing tougher under Steve Wilkes. Their offense still just isn't going to do much of anything, but the Ravens were able to get a field goal in the fourth quarter and then Lamar Jackson's late touchdown to separate themselves. And that's the kind of thing you need to do, right? You're going to have games like that over the course of a 17-game season, and sometimes you just have to get it done in those critical moments, and the Ravens were able to do that with Lamar Jackson yesterday, so they survived in advance.
First one for me, and well done. And by the way, for some reason, somebody thought that game was going to go over 41.5 points. I don't know who that was, but they scored 16 total points yesterday in Baltimore.
Oops.
For me, first one, kneecaps bitten. Not just because the Lions have won 3 in a row. It's the way they're playing. Even though they scored 31 yesterday, and they have 5 games this year of 31 or more points, which is very un-Lion-like, they have pivoted back toward more of a smash-mouth style. They're not relying on Jared Goff to throw the ball all over the place. They don't have these ridiculous fantasy numbers, except for the running back who scored 3 touchdowns yesterday with Jamal Williams getting it done. Even though he's in a committee, he's the guy who's getting the touchdowns. He's the guy who's getting it done. Very impressive what the Lions have done. I never would have dreamed. This is another one of my best bets from yesterday. The Giants giving the Lions 3. The Lions taking them out of Ford Field in November. Jared Goff with those tiny little hands on a windy day at MetLife Stadium. The Lions have no chance. They had a couple of fugazi wins over a downtrodden Packers team, and they beat the Bears. Who hasn't beaten the Bears this year? There's no way they're going to beat the Giants. Got to give it to Dan Campbell's Lions, and they are finally becoming, I believe, the team that he envisioned. And it was bottoming out at 1-6. People are talking about, they're going to fire him and who they're going to hire next. It's working, and they really have a chance to make things interesting in the NFC. If they get the win on Thursday and move to 5-6, who would have ever dreamed that would happen? I'd much rather be hot in November and December than September and October, Myles.
No doubt. I think it's been since that ringing endorsement from Sheila Ford Hamp, or let's call it vote of confidence, whatever you want to call it, that she gave to Holmes and Campbell. They have been 3-0. I'm pretty sure, unless it was the week before, and now they're 3-1. But like you said, they're winning games and they're getting it done. And this is the kind of thing that you need to show progress, because at that point, the record with Campbell and Holmes was worse than it was with Patricia at that juncture of games. So they needed to get some wins, and they finally have. Let's go to the Bengals, and you get the guys who stepped up, and T. Higgins and Samaje Perine. They needed guys to step up because you don't have Jamar Chase. Joe Mixon goes out in that game. Perine ends up with 3 touchdowns. T. Higgins ends up with something like 148 yards. That's something that you just can't necessarily anticipate when you're going into a game like that against a division rival, a team that knows you, team that's got TJ Watt back, and he comes in and he makes outstanding plays. So when you're able to find the way and get that thing done and make the critical plays in the critical situations, that says a lot. And so can't count the Bengals out yet. Really can't.
Well, no, hell no. They're waiting for Jamar Chase to come back, and he may be back as soon as this weekend when they go back to Tennessee for a rematch of the divisional round game from last year. They were 5-4 through 9 games last year, entering the bye. 5-4 this year, entering the bye. And on the other side, they go to Pittsburgh and win a very difficult game. I was not feeling good about my pick for the Bengals to win this one because it felt like one of those Steelers home game.
Oh, mama,
someone's wandering. Exactly. Well done.
Yeah, they played Renegade and they got the defensive stop after that.
Well, right, and they have done some high-level analytical studies as to their record when they play Renegade, and they win far more than they lose, and it felt like the Steelers were going to get it done. When T.J. Watt makes that, what the hell was that interception?
Yeah.
Grabbing it at the line of scrimmage. I mean, I thought Steelers are going to pull this off. They're going to do it. So credit to the Bengals holding firm, getting the win, waiting for Jamar Chase to return when things may only get better Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.